A little bit, and we're live. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday Live. Welcome to Home Built Workshop. What is happening in your world? Hope you are all doing awesome. I'm going to scoot this seat back a little bit. Welcome everybody to my workshop. Hope your day is going amazing, whether you're just kind of getting rolling, or maybe it's the afternoon or evening or middle of the night. I hope you're doing great. And Brian's here. I was going to say bright and early, but it's not bright and early for you. It's not all that early here either, but Brian, what's going on, man? Brian says, hello, Jeff and everyone. Happy April and happy Wednesday. Hope you're all well, wherever you are. Well, Brian, we are doing well here, my friend. Right on. I hope all is well for you too. Brian says, just getting home from work. Right on. Right on. I'm glad you could tune in. Be sure to tell everybody hi over there from us here. Dastardly Dave, sup all? Sup, Dave? Dave, how you doing this fine day? Right on, and Neptune's is here too. Ah, right on. What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome. We're gonna hang out for a while, like we always do. Have a good time, talk about workshop stuff and projects and, you know, all the whole 9 yards, as they say. We'll talk about kind of what I got going on here, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you have going on in your shops or your workspace. Neptune says, hello, everyone. Charlie says, if you didn't have the Onefinity, how would you make guitars? Well, honestly, I haven't made one single guitar yet on the Onefinity. All the guitars that I have made have been with templates and using my bandsaw to trim away the material and a router with a flush trim bit to shape everything to the template. I'm working towards doing my guitar bodies and stuff on the CNC, but as of yet, I have not cut out a guitar body on the CNC. I've been using it for other stuff. We'll get to that here shortly. The project I'm working on right now, I'm using the CNC to cut out a few of the pieces, but really all of the guitars that I have built have been done by hand. Well, using templates and routers, so I mean, I didn't cut it by hand, but you could. So yeah, you do not need a CNC machine to make guitars. So yeah, if you're looking to make some guitars, don't ever let that stop you. The fact that, you know, maybe you don't have the fancy CNC machine or whatever it is, you absolutely 100% do not need one to build awesome guitars. So I don't know if that was part of the reason behind your question or not. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but you don't need one. You really don't. Like I said, all mine have been done with templates and routers and the bandsaw, and yeah. Hope that helps you out, Charlie. Oh, let's see here. Oh, my apologies. I cannot read your name there. I'm sorry about that. But let's see the comments. I'm on the side thickness, working only with a planer and a card scraper. It's almost killing me. I can imagine. That would probably take a little while, but you can do it. It's just going to take time. Yeah, a hand plane and a scraper. I've seen a lot of, I've seen builds done that way. It's not that, you know, it's not that you can't get it done, because you absolutely, you can and you will. Just keep at it. And yeah, I have not done, I've not thicknessed plates using a hand plane and a scraper, but you'll get it. I've seen people doing it. So let's keep at it. It's going to be awesome. And it seems like when you accomplish those kinds of tasks, the ones that particularly take a long time, and you got to put a fair bit of work in it, it's even more satisfying when you get it done. So keep at it. Don't give up. Charlie says, nice. Right on. Robert's here. Robert says, hello. I had to go to the bell icon up to the top right to get the live stream. When I went to your homepage and clicked the live option, it just showed last week's. Well, that's weird. I wonder if there was some sort of an update that maybe changed something. Yeah, make sure, and this would go for everybody, make sure that if you're not subscribed to the channel, you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, that little bell icon. Turn on those guys so that when I post videos, and I believe when I start the lives, it should send a notification saying, hey, we're live over here at Home Built Workshop. So just take a second, double check all of your settings, and hopefully, I don't know if there was maybe an update or something that changed, but yeah, that's interesting. Thanks for letting me know that, because I'm gonna have to double check on my end. And I know there's not a setting that I can change, but I want to see if mine's doing the same thing. Paul says, sorry I'm late. Paul, man, no. You're good, man. We're just getting rolling here. I still got a full cup of hot coffee here, and yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm glad you made it. Reynaldo, my apologies, my friend. I am not good at translations. Somebody can help me translate that. Who knows? I'm sorry, Reynaldo. Neptune says, hey, Paul, better late than never. Yeah, see, you're good. Paul says, yep, dispatcher out today, so covering his job and mine. Oh, man, double duty. Neptune says, yeah, I had to do the same thing with the bell. That's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, I got to double check that and see what's going on. Probably some sort of update on the YouTube side. Campfire Custom Guitars. What's going on? It says, hello. 80 degrees here in South Louisiana. Right on, 80 degrees. It was a whopping 9 degrees Fahrenheit here this morning. A couple days ago, we were about 65. I even went a few minutes throughout the day without the beanie. Yeah, if you can imagine that. Oh, we're getting so close. I got my fingers crossed for nicer weather. We had a nice bit of weather over the weekend and into Monday, and then yesterday things cooled off some. Wind was crazy, and then today, 9 degrees. I think it's only about like 19 or 20 out right now. So not great, but it's supposed to warm back up after today. I even saw 70-degree temperatures in our forecast, I think for this weekend, or maybe it was into next week. This time of year. Speaking of this time of year, you guys remember last week? My throat was all scratchy, and I thought it was just because of all the talking and stuff from the guitar show the previous weekend. It wasn't. One of you mentioned that I may have picked something up from the show, or I had jury duty with hundreds of people. Yeah, I think that's what it was, because it turned into some sort of sinus cold or something like that. Yeah. I was hoping that it was just a scratchy from talking, but yeah, there was several days last week. Well, right after the live last week, my throat was really irritated, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like just my sinuses were all goofy, and I still got like residual sinus stuff. I don't know. But yeah, you guys were right. It wasn't my throat worn out. It was something I picked up, some sort of cold or something like that. But oh well. Sorry, I'll probably be doing that. There's like, yeah, you know. Please forgive me for the coldness. Let's see here. Campfire, enjoy the nice weather. Of course, I've never been to Louisiana, but I imagine it probably doesn't get all that cold down there. But we sure do here. Robert says, not sure, but something happened. I get the notification on my phone for the stream. I had just checked for the stream shortly before I was notified on my phone. There was nothing showing then. See, there's a common thing going on here. I'm guessing YouTube did some sort of an update and changed something. It's about the best explanation I got. Neptune says, hey, Campfire, here in Southeast Texas too. Oh man, you guys are warm. Nice. We'll get there. We will get there. Desserly Dave says, like Namthrax. Yeah. Hope you're feeling better. Took a long time for us to kick a flu. Namthrax. I like that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I got Namthrax. Even though I wasn't at Nam, I was still around a lot of people. 2 days in a row. I like that Namthrax. Nice. Now, Robert says there's been wildfires all over here in Oklahoma the past few weeks. Yeah. I was the one that jinxed you. Sorry. LOL. No, you're good, Robert. You called it. You were right. I was trying to be positive and not let that thought into my head. For some reason, I always tell myself, yeah, I'm not sick. I'm not sick. It's something else. I'm not sick. It's trying to fake my brain, but then I get sick. And thankfully, really, it wasn't more than, sinus stuff and a sore throat, and that's probably where the throat thing came from. Is sinuses are doing sinus things, and but yeah, I got it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just a little. It's just inconvenient. It wasn't like I was down in bed, and, with a bad flu or something worse. Campfire Custom Guitar says, are there any guitar shows coming up? Man, I don't know. In my area, the only one really that I'm aware of was the one that I was just at, the Colorado Guitar Show and Custom Luthiers Expo. I know that they also have the Archtop Festival happens around here in the Denver area, maybe at the same spot, I'm not sure. But I haven't attended that. Zimbelman Guitars, a buddy of mine, he has attended it, not as a vendor, but just to check it out. I'm not aware of other ones around here. I wish there was more, and I may do a little digging. Maybe there's some smaller things going on. Actually, I think what I'll do is reach out to the promoter for this show that I was just at and see if there's other ones around in my area. Now, I know that there's a lot of other shows, around the country, things like that. But as far as in my area here, I'm not aware of any other ones. But I'm gonna look out for that and see if I can track something down. Charlie says, my Onefinity Journeyman X50 came in February. It's still in the box in the shop, waiting for warm weather to start making chips. Man, that's awesome. I am super happy with my machine so far. Now, like I said, I haven't done a guitar yet on it, and that is because, well, that's all on me. I'm slowly working on the model for the guitar that I want to cut out first on the machine, and excuse me. I need to sit down and just dedicate several more hours, maybe a day, to draw this thing. But in my effort to keep projects moving forward, I just haven't taken that time. So that is all 100% on me. like I said, I've been using it for stuff. I'm going to show you what I've been working on. You may have seen it if you saw the video thumbnail. I've been using the machine for sure. I just haven't done guitars on it. And I'm telling you, it is awesome. I don't know where you're at on the modeling side, but make sure you take a little time and you fully understand and have your models ready to go. You might already, but yeah, it is cool. Yep, it's super cool. Harry Dude says, "What's up? Hey everyone, the live stream time has changed again. We just got out of daylight savings." Oh, so you guys now have it. So let's see, are you opposite ours? Let's see, so in our spring, we go ahead. So if you're going into fall, do you go back or do you go ahead like we do? Neptune says, "Hey Harry, how's the land down under?" Robert says, "I may try unsubscribing, then resubscribe to see if that fixes the YouTube. Glad it was not too serious." Yeah, I'd be curious if you notice any difference. It's interesting. Paul says, "Glad it wasn't the you know what." Yeah, yeah, me too. Really. Harry Dude says, "Hey Neptunes, doing okay? Very busy these days. Looking forward to some time off over Easter. How are you?" Right on. Harry Dude, there was a question I was going to ask you, and I can't remember what it was now. But it was something to do with holidays or something. My daughter and I were talking the other day. I can't remember what it is now. Dang it. About if a particular holiday was switched or something. But I don't remember exactly what it was. And I told her that I'd have to ask you and find out. Paul says, "The Dallas Guitar Show, May 5th through 7th. Man, I would like to be able to come down to that. That would be cool." Neptune says, "I'm good here, getting over a kidney infection. Man, I hope you're feeling better. That stinks." And there's Henry. Henry says, "Morning." Right on, Henry. Good morning to you. How are you this fine Wednesday morning? Is it a little chilly up that way? Sure is down here. I think we started at 9 degrees, and now it's up to, I don't know, around 20 or so. Henry says, "Check out Two Cherries here on YouTube. He has some great videos on modeling and CNC tips." I'm going to have to go back and watch some more of those. I know that I've seen several of their videos. And yeah, they were very well done and informative for sure. Neptune says, "Morning, Henry. Welcome." Brian says, "I need to start dinner. See you all next time. Stay safe and take care." Right on, Brian. You too, man. Have a good dinner. And yeah, take care. Tell everyone hi from us. Robert says, "I was eating a bowl of spoon-sized shredded wheat and dumped out a huge chunk of just frosting at 3.5 inch in diameter and about 1.5 inch thick. Needless to say, I did not eat the chunk." That is a lot of frosting. I haven't had the spoon-sized one. Those are the big ones, right? I haven't had those in a long time. Or is it the smaller ones? I don't know. Those are the mini wheats. I like those things. They're pretty good. I think my favorite, I think, is like the strawberry one. I like the strawberry frosted. But yeah, a giant chunk of frosting. Whew. Neptune says, "Later, Brian." Harry Dude says, "We just set our clocks back, so we are now on non-daylight savings. AEST, Australian Eastern Time. The live stream now starts at 1 a.m. Thursdays." So you set yours back because you're going into fall back. So yeah, that is opposite. Wow. Okay, so the time really gets jacked up because we go forward an hour, like a couple weeks ago, and you go back an hour. So the spread is what, 3 hours difference? 3. I don't know. This daylight savings thing, I'm telling you, it's got to go. I don't know about you guys, but just leave it where it is right now. Just leave everybody alone. Robert says, Brian, have a good one. Robert says, no, they're the small ones. Oh, that makes sense. Spoon size, the small. It fits on a spoon. The other ones are giant. They're like a piece of toast. Campfire says, okay, thanks, Paul. I'm going to check out the Dallas Guitar Show for more info. There you go. And Campfire, that's probably, yeah, that might be not too far from you. I'm not sure. I mean, still, I would imagine several hours, but yeah, maybe that's one you could scoot on over. I believe Paul's going to be there. I think, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, he's going to have his stuff there, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of other people there. Hey, Robert agrees. Says the daylight savings needs to go. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe once upon a time, but I don't even then, I don't really feel like it does. Neptune says, you could have drilled a hole in the frosting and put it on a stick. Could have made a couple bucks selling it to a kid. Yeah, you could. You could, sell it on eBay. People sell all, like, burnt toast or something on there. I don't know. Campfire says it's 5 hours from me. Yeah, see, that's it's a little bit of a drive, but take some. Maybe you should take some of yours over there. Alrighty. What in the world have I been working on over here? I got a video that I'm working on editing of Haley and I doing a few repairs around here. So working on that for this weekend. Just kind of a fun, kind of a day in the life type video. Working on getting that thing together. Her and I working on a couple things. And that was just kind of fun. She did a lot of the camera operating and it's had a good time. Got a couple things done. Working with a little bit of wood and fixing some stuff. So that should be pretty fun. I'm hoping to get that out this weekend. But really, what I've been focusing on now is my side bender. I'll show you where it's at right now. So I'm gonna have to scoot back. So this is where I'm at. We have this. Nothing's fastened together yet, but I got the sides cut out. Cut them out on the CNC. I've got the base plate that the sides fit into. I don't know if I can show you that. Probably there's a little notch there that the sides pop into on the base. And then just some blocking and stuff that excuse me. The platform where the mold and stuff will sit. I gotta do a little bit of trimming on some of this stuff. I'm kind of doing this, designing it on the fly, and modifying some of my models as I go. I've already found a few things that I needed to change. Forgot to include a couple holes on the side. There's supposed to be one right about there, but I can drill that by hand. Not a big deal. But really, what I'm going to start working on next is there's a block that needs to go here that will connect these two uppers, and then a threaded clamp, screw clamp, gets installed in that. I'm going to use. I got some little offcuts laying around of some slabs. I'm going to I'll make some blocking out of this. That'll fit up in here. And then I got a few more parts to cut out. There's an arm. Let's see. I'm gonna try. There's many different styles of this. Some of them use like a little spring deal on both sides. I'm gonna have a little spring guide. Well, I don't know how to explain it. There's gonna be a little clampy deal here, technical term, that'll have some springs. Those will attach here. And in the front, there's another set of arms that are going to be similar to this that will slide down, and it'll have another screw clamp on here
That way, if you're doing a cutaway, it'll let you get it out around and get in there to the cutaway. So I got to cut out the arms, and I got to cut out some of the pieces to make the little shoes, clamping shoes. I don't know what you might call it, but excuse me. But that's what I'm working on right now, trying to get this thing together. Then I got to figure out how I'm going to do the electronics. I'm not doing anything fancy just yet. I'm going to keep the electronics really simple. Just a timer, basically, to turn it on. You'll just turn on this timer, kind of a bathroom timer deal, and then it'll heat up the blanket and shut off. At some point, I'll build a controller for it, but right now I just want to get this thing together and working so that I can move forward on some new acoustic builds. But yeah, so far so good. I got a lot farther on it than I thought yesterday. I did a good chunk of the day working on this, working on files, getting the pieces cut, and I'm kind of designing as I go. I do have a model that I've made. I've drawn up a bunch of the parts, but I'm working off ideas from many different sets of plans. I'm trying to see, pick and choose some of the things that I like. So some of the stuff I don't quite have figured out. So as I'm cutting pieces, then I figure out, how I want to do things from there. Drawing up the part, cutting it out if I need to. A lot of these, I cut out both of the sides and the base plate on the CNC. The rest of it is just standard, square cuts. So I'm not using the machine for that. Although I have found a few spots where I could have done some cool, interlocking stuff, had I thought ahead. So I might update my model for that, and if I ever want to build another one. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. It actually looks like a bender right now, even though it's not done. But probably have, another couple of days. I got to get parts, some hardware and stuff ordered today for this, and a few things for the updated version of my binding tower. I want to redo that. I've mentioned that before. So while I'm ordering from the good old McMaster car, I'll throw a couple of things on there that I want to change for that. So that'll be another one that I'll be working on. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah. Robert says, I don't want some kid's mom getting mad at me. Paul says, I'm trying, if life allows me. Still have 3 guitars to finish. Yeah, it's crazy, like coming up to a show. Even the one I did. There's so many things leading up to those last few days before the show. It's like, it almost feels like you're never going to make it. Now, I had my guitars done, but I was working more on display type stuff. But yeah, you'll get it, man. You'll get them done. Neptune says, that thing is so big you'll have to get rid of something in the shop to store it. I'll take your CNC. Yeah, I honestly haven't gotten to figure out where I'm going to put this yet. I really don't know. But I'm building it. It's kind of how I roll. I build something and then worry about where it's going to live. It's probably totally backwards, because if I think about it, I don't know where it's going to go. No, it won't fit up there. I was going to say up on that shelf, but it won't fit. It's too tall. I'll figure something out. Now you got me thinking. Nah, small details. Campfire says, gotta get back to work. It's been a pleasure. Right on. Campfire Custom Guitars, thanks for tuning in. We do this every Wednesday. I'd love to have you join us. But yeah, have fun at work. Get back at it, and have a good one. Neptune says, later, Campfire. Looks like the old caps lock to me there, buddy. That's like the worst. Caps lock's the worst key ever invented, my opinion. Oh, Paul says, "Ooh, bendy bendy stuff." Yep, we are getting close to bendy bendy. I've got the blanket, the heating blanket, my mold I made last year, or the bending, yeah, the bending form, and yeah, we're getting close. I just need this bender, which is slowly taking shape. Hopefully today, at least, it'll have the little clampy. Probably won't finish it today, but we should get sort of close. And there's Mike. Mike says, "Morning." Neptune says, "Mike's in the house." Good morning, Mike. How are you this fine Wednesday? And Tony's here. Tony says, "Morning from the Gulf Coast." What's going on, Tony? Gulf Coast area representing today. Right on. I mean, well, Neptunes, you're not Gulf Coast, I don't think, are you? But close enough. You're close enough. Right on. Tony, what's going on? Cheers. Yeah, so I think that gets us up to speed as to what I'm working on. Sidebender. Got the sidebender, get that thing knocked out. Thankfully, the hardware that I need to order, that place delivers super quick. I don't know how many of you are have ordered from McMaster-Carr. Not sponsored, but pretty good place to order from. Shipping's a little expensive, I think, but yeah, they got everything. Let's see. Oh, Dallo. Okay. Dallo says, "Are you working on making videos for a cutaway too?" I want to do a cutaway. I have plans to do a cutaway. I'm building this bending jig so that it will accommodate a cutaway for sure. I have forgot what I was going to say. The next one I do probably will be a non-cutaway, similar to the shape that I've already done. But then from there, I want to build a mold for a cutaway because I do want to do a cutaway. I want to give that a shot. So, and when I do, I absolutely will do a video on that. So at the moment, I don't have a video, but as I get everything situated, everything built, the bender and all that, I will eventually go to a cutaway. Tony says, "Just chilling today." Right on. So are we. It's a little chilly here, so we're just chilling. Neptune says, "Yep, I'm in the Gulf Coast." Okay, I don't know. I'm not familiar with what parts are considered Gulf Coast and what's not, or maybe it all is. I don't know. Oh, he says 30 minutes from the coast. Oh, you're a lot closer than I thought. So you're definitely Gulf Coast. Robert says, "I'm hoping that I did not get ripped off, but I ordered an electric bicycle and waiting for it to arrive. Found out after the fact that it's supposed to be coming from China about 1.5 weeks. You'll probably get it. I mean, if it's from, any sort of reputable place, I imagine you'll get it. I have ordered things that came from China. Even some, a couple times it's happened that I did not know that it was shipping from China. And I sort of felt the same. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm never going to get it. And then 2 weeks later or whatever, it shows up and all is well. So I think you'll get it. Robert says, "None of my emails requesting information have yet to be answered." Interesting. For a second, I thought you were telling me that. You emailed me looking for information, and I didn't answer. And I'm like, crap, did I miss emails or something? But then I connected it to your previous comment. So, no worries. right. Sorry, I'm scrolling here. Scrolling away. I gotta get to one of these days. I gotta fire up the other camera and see if I can use that for these lives. I know I talked about that what feels like months ago, but I really gotta do that. I've been kind of brainstorming ideas for some sort of a swing arm type mount thingy that I could set maybe like the laptop on and have like the little live stream booth thingy, but somehow have it fold out of the way so that when I'm not using it, it's it's against the wall or something. So that might be a project. Might be a fun one to cut out a bunch of stuff and then I won't have to like scroll here on the iPad. So I did get to do talking about projects I've been working on. I should have videoed it, but I didn't because we're kind of under a time crunch. A friend of mine is one of the kind of rural mail delivery people, where you bring your own vehicle. And so Monday, we spent most of the day building out the inside of the vehicle to accommodate mail delivery stuff. And actually, it was kind of cool, almost like building custom cabinets to fit a certain space. We had to make this thing fit the vehicle, where you can put the mail and stuff on there. It was actually really fun, and would have kind of been a fun video, but we were under a time constraint to get this thing done basically that day, and I knew that if we filmed it, it probably wouldn't have happened. We were able to get it done. I didn't even take a darn picture of it. I should have, because it was kind of fun to put together. But yeah, that was Monday, working on that thing, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Robert says, I ordered a router motor from China that wound up being delivered to some address from, I think, Wisconsin. Never got the motor or my money back. It was a DeWalt. Oh man, that's a drag. I'm sorry you had issues like that. That's never fun. I got my fingers crossed for you that your parts or your pieces are going to arrive. I hope it shows up, Robert. Robert says thanks. Yeah. All right, let's see. Thing I was going to ask Harry Dude. Harry Dude, what are you working on today? Do you have more stage lights and stuff that you got to get upset with? Sinuses are still a little bit of a disaster. Let's see, guys. I kind of want to show you something else that I've been messing with. I don't think anybody will. I'm a little bit hesitant because I'm not done working on them yet, but who's seen these before? Radius gauges. I'm working on. That's all I really want to show at the moment. I've been working on making my own, or kind of designing different ones, and these were a sample that I made out of some thin veneer that I made out of wood. I think it could be handy. A little bit. There's a couple things that are different on the ones that I'm making compared to the other companies. The other big guitar parts manufacturing company. And I may even talk to the gang over at Skyscraper and see what they think. But these are my test pieces. There, can you see it? I don't want to give it away yet, but I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cool. A couple different, I shouldn't have even brought it up. Now I feel like I should have just left it in the dark, but but I've been playing around with that. Cut those out on the laser. It took about, I don't know, hour and a half, something like that, to cut them all out. I did all the different radiuses and some test pieces and stuff. If it works out like I hope it will, could be kind of a cool thing to add to the guitar tools. I will definitely share more when I get a little further along on that. And David sent a super chat. Right on, David. Oh, David, I think I got a box. I think I got a box that's going to work for what we need. So, was doing some scrounging today, this morning. Think I got one. Fingers crossed. I will keep you in the loop, okay? Let's see. Dallo says, the more I watch your videos, the more I think I need to build a CNC first, not a guitar. I think you need to build a guitar first. I'm not telling you have to, but I do feel that there is a lot of knowledge to be learned in doing it by hand. Both ways, I think, are absolutely fine. But there are things that you can program the machine to do, which make your life a lot easier. Absolutely. But I also feel that there is quite a big advantage to understanding every single step along the way. I mean, it's a very long process. I mean, no matter if it's acoustic or electric, I mean, there's still a lot of steps that you need to do. And I think doing it by hand, at least a few times, maybe, but definitely once, I think that there can be a lot of very good takeaways from that process that you can then apply to using a CNC machine to do. I'm not saying not to. If that's the route you want to go, absolutely go for it. If you feel that that's the best route for you, right? But I also do feel that if you want to build a guitar, don't worry about getting the machine. You know what I'm saying? Get you a good set of templates or make your own templates and just make one. I'm not trying to sway you either way. You go the path that works the best for you. But I do believe that there's some advantages to doing that process by hand once, twice, 6 times before jumping into a machine, having a machine do it. It's just I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like the CNC machine or the acoustic guitar. There was several people that said, why don't you cut the stuff out, use the machine, cut parts out. But part of my process there was I wanted to do every single step by hand so that I really grasp the full scope of what's involved in that project. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not just blabbering on. But after completing it, I have a better understanding of all the steps that are involved, so I can make that determination if I want to cut something on the machine or if I want to do a step by hand. I now at least know what goes into every single process. And I feel that building an electric guitar is exactly the same way. There's absolutely nothing wrong if you want to get a machine and you cut out the body and, but I would say at least give it a little bit of a thought. I'm not saying you're wrong if you do that. You're absolutely not. But if you're wanting to build a guitar, just build one. Don't let a machine or the lack of a machine stop you. If you want to build one, go ahead and just do it. You know, like I said earlier, you absolutely do not need a CNC machine to build a guitar of any type. You don't. You don't need one. It's more of a luxury, I think. If you want to build one, just build it. Get a set of good templates. If you need to get some templates, I get all of mine from Potvin Guitars, Potvin. Mike is a great guy to work with. I am not affiliated with him, not sponsored whatsoever, but that is where I order all of my templates from. Whether it's one of the stock ones that he has listed, he also does custom templates, which I have ordered several of for some of my guitars. But, you know, I say just go for it. And again, if you want to build a machine first, have at it. But I'm just I'm just encouraging you to jump in and do it. Harry Dude says, currently trying to adapt some pots into an active subwoofer. The factory pots are not available anymore, so I'm fitting other pots and designing knobs to 3D print to make it all work. Interesting. Is it some sort of like a filter, you know, EQ type thing? Or that's interesting that you can't get them anymore. Is it a certain spec, a certain size, certain resistance? What is it that makes it hard to get? That's interesting. Neptune says, super chat, nice. Yeah, right on. David says, I appreciate it, my friend. And I appreciate you, David. Thank you. Thank you so much. Robert says, I think I want to add a thin dark walnut strip, maybe have it tapered in top of a flame maple top, instead of just letting the glue joint stand on its own. Yeah, I mean, you could, you know, the sky's the limit, right? If you're building it, the sky is the limit. You want a maple strip or a walnut strip, you add a walnut strip. You don't want a walnut strip? That is the fun part, and like probably my favorite aspect is you build it however you want it to be. You know, you want it to be double bound and all the, you know, embellishments, then do it. I say if you want a maple, or well, I keep saying maple. You want a walnut strip, Robert? Add the walnut strip. It's yours. It's your guitar. Paul says, I've never used a CNC to build a guitar. Yeah, I haven't either. Yeah, I mean, I will, you know, get mine converted over to the CNC, but as of right now, I have not either. Harry Dude says, these need a really long shaft to poke through the chassis, which I can't get. So I got shorter ones to extend the shafts with 3D printed knobs. You can't get the long shaft. How long does it need to be? Is it the threaded part that needs to be long, or the actual twisty shaft? And have you checked, like, everybody, like all parts, everything, for a long? Interesting. But yeah, you use a shorter one, I suppose. And then I imagine you'll have the knob extend longer to make up the difference. That should work. Harry Dude says the actual twisty shaft. See, you know what I meant. Technical term. I don't have any handy here. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd have to check around at some of the places. I don't know if All Parts has anything like that. What about, of course, I mean, I don't know about the shipping. Check CE Distribution. Have you ever checked there? They got some interesting stuff. Actually, they think they have speaker cabinet parts. They might. I wonder if they might have something. Harry Dude, if you get a chance, check it out. CE TeeSpring.com, I believe it is. CE Distribution. You got to have an account and all that to order. I have one through there, so I mean, if they have what you need, I don't know how long it'd take to get it there. We could maybe figure something out, but might take a look. Charlie says, do you prefer metric or imperial? Oh man. I did a video last year, 2 years ago. I had built a project trying to use all metric. And I just posted kind of a recap video on that. You know, what did I think of using metric? You guys jump in. Those of you in the U.S. here, one of the biggest things, I'll get to answer your question here in a moment. One of the biggest things was, how many of you in the U.S. call Imperial standard? That was the biggest thing in that video, was I was calling it standard. And everybody outside of the U.S. like jumped on my case because I'm calling it standard. But here in the U.S., that's what we call it. I know I'm not the only one that calls it standard or metric. And that was the biggest issue that a lot of people took with that video. And even though I said, I know it's not standard in the world. It's not. It is not the world standard. It's standard here in the U.S. If you say standard, everybody knows what you're talking about. Anyway, I'm rambling on that. I use mostly Imperial. Now, that doesn't mean that it's my favorite. This is kind of a hard one for me to answer, really. Because when I work in metric, I do feel metric is easier. That I do believe that. Everything is base 10 units, and the math is easy. You don't have to deal with those ornery fractions. Never been a big fan of fractions. But I guess I maybe use both. I'd almost prefer to use metric. I know. I said it out loud. Because of the lack of fractions. But I'm so ingrained in Imperial that it would be challenging for me to switch fully to metric. I would have no problem working in just metric. This is tricky to answer. It really kind of is. But I feel now that after using metric, and the acoustic, there was a lot of metric when I built the acoustic guitar. I feel very comfortable using metric. I just feel that it would be hard for me to switch 100% metric. It's just so, we grew up with Imperial. That's what we were taught. Metric was, we were taught metric, sort of, but not to the extent that Imperial was. So I guess my answer would probably be both, if I can. I still mostly use Imperial. I have since gotten measuring tapes and stuff that have both inch and metric on it. And this is the one that I've been using, inch and metric, because I want to try to keep that metric in my head. I've got metric rulers. My buddy Ivan sent me these. These things are awesome, like all metric. He sent me several different sizes, but I use these all the time. But I also, right next to it, have an inch rule. So I feel like I would use both. If I'm working off a drawing that has metric, I have no problem using metric. If I measure something, I don't automatically measure it in millimeters. Let's see. So, Charlie, that was a very long-winded answer, sort of an answer to your question. I like them both. Neptune says, Harry, can you send me the specs? I might be able to find you something. Paul says, Harry, dude, can't you use a Forstner bit from the underside to thin out the top enough where the knob fits? Robert says, actually, it will be for someone else since I can... Oh, I'm guessing can? Play the guitar? Neptune says, I call it standard too. Yeah, see? I knew you did. Harry Dude says, I've gone through Mauser, DigiKey, etc. None of the standard guitar and amp knobs will fit. These are PCB mount D-shaft plastic shafts. Harry Dude, seriously, check out CE Distribution. They're out of Arizona. They have all kinds of wonky stuff. Pedal parts, cabinet parts. They have a bunch of guitar parts too, but check them out and see if you can find if there's something there that might work. I know they're not just guitar parts, as opposed to all parts necessarily. Harry Dude says, standard, don't get me started. I mean, I don't know. Like, I get it. For those of you in other countries, metric is the standard, right? It is the measurement that you use. I totally get that. And here, it's not, for the most part. And that's what we were taught. That's what we grew up with, it being told it's called. I'm not upset about it at all. There's so many people who give me grief about it, so I'm just like, whatever. But it is. I'm done defending it. Standard or metric. Neptune's Harry, LOL. No hard feelings. So many people give me grief about that, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Robert says, Harry Dude, would it be possible to cut a recess in the case so you could use regular pots with the longer shafts? Harry Dude says, I'm looking at drilling out the potholes on the chassis to accommodate commercially available knobs. Robert says, on metric, I keep getting confused with millimeters and centimeters. Millimeters are small. Centimeters are 10 times a millimeter. So 20 millimeters is 2 centimeters. Robert says, I have a ruler with inches on one side and centimeters on the other edge. That's kind of what this is. Inches, centimeters. I still automatically gravitate to the inch side. That's why I keep metric, I keep both rulers around. I try to stay practiced. I try to use metric from time to time just to stay, I don't know, up to speed with it. But, yeah. Neptune says, Harry, what's the shaft length, diameter, and value? It's got a, I don't know. Now that we've all voiced our opinion on the metric versus imperial debate, I will tell you, I have been trying to be more mindful, I guess, maybe, to call it imperial instead of standard. Because I did find out pretty quick that there's that standard, even though that's what we were taught that it's called, is it's a topic of a hot debate among other countries. Paul says, gotta go. Everyone have a great week. Right on, Paul. Get those guitars done, man. You got a guitar show coming up. Harry Dude says, Neptune's, the Mauser part number 652 PTV 11 blah 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 is the one I have fitted. One of these with a longer shaft would be ideal. Robert says, what really messes me up is liquid metric measurements and imperial measurements. Yeah, me too. I don't know the conversions, nor have I even tried. Ounces, cups, pints, whatever. Yeah, I'm not even messing with that. I'll just use... Yeah. I'm not even going to go there. And distance. Kilometers screws with my brain. We're just not used to it. I'm not used to it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around millimeters and centimeters. And meters versus a yard. That one's screwed with me since I was little. Neptune says, cool, thanks, Harry. Yeah, if I might hop on and see if I can find anything too, Harry Dude, that might cross-reference that. But, yeah, if you happen to find one and it's over here, you know, hit me up. We can figure out something if you need for shipping and all that. But anyway, guys, I got a bit of a side bender project here to get back to. And we are back upon the hour. So I need to go cut out some more pieces for this and start working on getting this thing together. I got to slice up this slab of elm. Almost quarter sawn, not quite, but pretty close. Should be nice and sturdy. Keep this project moving forward. But anyway, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, for hanging out today, for joining in with me on the metric versus imperial conversation. Neptune says, same here with shipping. Robert says, it does sound more impressive telling someone how fast you are going in metric speeds. I was doing 120 kilometers an hour, which is what, like 60? Harry Dude says, I can get stuff shipped easy enough. The major electronics distributors I buy from have international shipping. 3 days to me in Melbourne. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know I've said it a couple times. I would seriously check out CE Distribution. They might have it. They got all kinds of stuff for instruments and music-related parts, speakers and cabinets, and it's the only other place I know of. I'm sure there's others, but anyway. Hope you find it, man. Good luck with that. If not, the 3D printed deal, I'm sure would probably get you out of a jam. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to get back to work. And, yeah, thanks a lot for joining. Again, double check you're subscribed and make sure your notifications so that next week you get the notification, you know, when we go live. Hopefully everything is sorted out on the YouTube. Harry Dude says, just check CE. Now, I was aware of them, but they don't do a lot of PA stuff. Ah, dang it. I know they had some weird stuff on there, but I was hoping. Alrighty, Robert says, stay safe. Neptune's got some more questions. Does it need to be board mount? Robert says, stay safe and healthy. Neptune's later, everyone. Right on, guys. Take it easy. Have a great week. Thanks for joining in. Get out in your shops, build some cool stuff, fix some things, and just in general, have a good time. Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you next time. Oh, I'm going to see if this button works. I always press the X button. I'm going to give an explanation because I don't know where it cuts you guys off. I always hit that thing. Then it brings up another window right about here, and I have to hit end. And I always hit end, and it doesn't end. And I don't know why. And it's very strange, but catch you guys later.